Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Fajrotussyifa and I'm a student of English Education Department of UIN Jakarta. So right now I want to tell you about the summary of 10 articles that I have read. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go to the first article. Alright, so the title of the first article is Role of Social Media in English Language Learning for Adult Learners. So the author of this article is Dr. Meenakshi Sharma Yadav. Okay, move to the purpose of this research. The purpose of this research is to explore the development of ESL and EFL applied to social media. Then the study also aims to see which social media is used more and which social media can improve the English language skills for adult learners who use English as their foreign language and as their second language. By doing this research, the author also aims to add further knowledge about the role of social media in learning English as a foreign language and as a second language for adult learners. Okay, so we move to the result of this research. Okay, so the author found that learners who live in 21st centuries are very familiar with digital devices. Even adult learners in this century are accustomed to the existence of smart digital and devices. The conclusion of this research is that social media will be more popular than ever in the future. Videos will be an attractive and an effective method to learn languages. Leading institutions will provide MOOC, which is Massive Open Online Courses in Languages, and smart technological gadgets will play a major part in ELL. Okay, so for the second article is the title of this article is The Role of Social Media in Development of English Language Vocabulary at University Level. So yeah, there are three authors of this article. The first author is Irfan Ullah Khan, and the second is Muhammad Ayaz, and the third is Muhammad Fahim. Okay, let's go to the purpose of this research. The purpose of this research is so there are three objective purposes of this research. First is to determine the function of social media in English in the development of vocabulary at the university level. And the second purpose is to find out the views of teachers at universities on the use of social media as a tool to improve vocabulary. And the third is to make actionable suggestions for integrating social media into the vocabulary development of English language at the university level. Okay, so for the result of this research is, the result and conclusion of this research is that social media has an important role in learning English vocabulary. From the data that has been collected, students at the university level feel helped by the social media as a tool for learning English vocabulary, because social media has many new words and new phrases that can improve vocabulary skills, which is it's good for them, and they find it easier to use social media than reading books, because on social media there are pictures that they can see so that they can grow their enthusiasm for learning English. They can use several social media for their learning, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Okay, so the title of the third article is The Impact of Social Media on Learning English, a critical study in English language teaching ELT context. Okay, so the writers or authors of this article is Parupali Srinivas Rao. Okay, so the purpose of this article is that the author wants to explore the influence of social media on learning English, and students often use social media for the sake of their English learning. Then they usually get new phrases or words that appear from social media. The author in this article wants to find out why this happened and what the consequence will happen and will be happen from it. Okay, so yeah, that's the purpose, and the result of this research is the author concludes that social media has had a great influence on English learning. This can be seen by the changes in vocabulary used in social media. An example is when you first define the word wall as the wall of a house or building, but on the internet, the word wall is defined as the main page of your social media. In the end, the use new unfamiliar vocabulary due to the influence of social media is growing rapidly because its use is very frequent and excessive in social media. Okay, we move to the fourth article. Alright, so the title of the fourth article is Determining How Social Media Affects Learning English, an investigation of mobile application, Instagram, and Snapchat in TESOL classroom. The writers of this article is Hind Abdul Aziz Al-Badr. The purpose of this study article was to investigate the impact of social media on the development of English speaking and reading abilities. Although social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat are mostly used for socializing and marketing, but they also have a substantial influence on English learning. This research will examine how social media influence English learning through the use of mobile apps, including Snapchat and Instagram. The research analyzes how user attitude, experience, and perception impact the usage of Instagram and Snapchat in classroom setting to the learn of English. So the result of this article is the conclusion is that the beneficial use of English language learners on social media Instagram is that they can develop their reading and communication skill in English. Their disadvantage in social media Instagram is inadequate privacy, restrictions on personal usage, a lack of structure in learning, possibilities, and the presence of language and spelling problems in public posts on the internet. People prefer to use Instagram than Snapchat to learn vocabulary rather than grammar. Overall, the findings imply that Instagram might be useful educational medium for English learners, capturing their attention and inspiring them to study. As with Snapchat, more study data is required before any inferences regarding its real usefulness in delivering quantitative learning outcomes can be reached. Okay, so for the next article is the fifth article. The title of this article is The Impact of Social Media in English Language Learning. So the author of this article, there are three authors of this article. The first author is Botan Othman Amin, the second is Ruma Rafiq, and the third is Nohaz Mahmud. Okay, so the purpose of this article is this journal aims to reassure, encourage the English language teachers to use poetry as a tool to enhance their learners' speaking skill. Also, how students and educators can develop forms of learning through social media technology. Educators generally use Twitter, blogs, Facebook, YouTube, or Flickr in the student writing procedure. The conclusion of this article is that social media has a positive impact on learning English, but however, social media certainly has a harmful or bad impact on users. Social media can provide new language or phrases, but it can also display disgusting and inappropriate language for students who use social media as a medium of learning. Okay, for the next article is the sixth article. The title is An Exploratory Study of English Teachers, the use of social media for teaching English on distance learning. The writers of this article is Ubaidillah, Damar Istiqratiwi, Estorikul Huda, and Dwi Agung Kurniawan. So the purpose of this article is to determine how English teachers use social media to teach English and also to find out what activities can be done in learning activities while using social media in distance learning. Then, this article also aims to find out which social media is the most used by English teachers and effectiveness resulting from social media so as to improve the ability of students in English. So the result of this research is when Indonesia prohibits face-to-face learning in the classroom and forces distance learning, teachers turn to social media. E-learning and facilities for junior high school teachers have limited the possibilities available to English teachers. The most popular social media networks with a powerful presentation are WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Despite the fact that teachers use all of these social media platforms on regular basis, WhatsApp has a greater presentation value than the other social media. Teachers employed e-learning on distance learning as a social media user during the Indonesian COVID-19 pandemic, and this research can be built upon in future studies with narrower emphasis or used to increase understanding in general. Okay, for the seventh article, the title is Perceived Effectiveness of Social Media as an English Language Learning Tool. The writers of this article is Hanan Ismail, Kutubakhanah Al-Said. Okay, so the purpose of this article is to be able to test the correlation between independent variables. Some of the things that will be tested are the level of use social media, interaction of students with teachers, interaction of students with peers, and student involvement in cooperative learning. Then it also aims to examine the dependent variable, namely how the learning performance of Saudi female students with the education system separated by sex. Okay, so the result of this research is the overall conclusion is that the SMLP model demonstrated female Saudi undergraduates' strong acknowledgement and endorsement of the use of social media as an effective learning tool in a sex-segregated educational system. According to the SMLP model, female Saudi students perceived that they could potentially improve their learning performance by using social media. The SMLP model's applicability to other educational systems outside of the KSA must be assessed. Okay, so the next article is the eighth article. The title is Technology in the Language Classroom: How the Social Media is Changing the Way EFL is Taught by Hamza Al-Shankiti. The research aimed to investigate how technology, particularly the use of social media in the English as a foreign language or EFL classroom, is changing the way language is taught. The author believes that rapid technological advancement have forced changes in teaching approaches in the field of education, particularly language teaching and learning, owing to students' current learning styles differing from those of previous generations. Without a doubt, this has gradually created a generation gap between younger students and older teachers, resulting in some conflict in teaching approaches and methodologies. Okay, so the research's main finding is that by incorporating technology into theoretical frameworks, practical issues such as EFL teacher training and accessibility can be greatly improved. Participating in course and syllabus design will also increase the potential of CALL and social media as tools to benefit the EFL environment and develop as a philosophy. A society develops its own philosophies and communication trends, a natural extension of this work that could yield interesting results to investigate the influence of social media on EFL material design and delivery in the same way what CALL did. Okay, next is the ninth article. The title is The Effectiveness of Social Media Application, Telegram Messenger, in Improving Students' Reading Skill, a case study EFL learners at Ajloun University College, Jordan. Writers Muntaha Ali Muhammad Ali Mumami. Okay, so the purpose of this research is in the sense that the study aims to explore the impact of current technology application in improving student abilities in English, such as Telegram Messenger channels to enhance reading, e-learning, M-learning, and Techno-8 skill may assist fill the gap. The purpose of this study was to investigate the influence of utilizing the Telegram messaging channel on enhancing reading abilities of undergraduate EFL students at Ajloun College University. In final results, the research has provided scientific proof to the effectiveness of the Telegram's social media application in developing the students' reading skills due to the various services it provides, such as the ability to introduce audiovisual topic explanation, in addition to encouraging students to search for information and knowledge independently, highlighting the key role of the Telegram application in developing a student-centered learning environment that is compatible. Okay, so for the last article, the title of this article is Influence of Social Media on EFL Yemeni Learners in Indian Universities During COVID-19 Pandemic. The writer of this article is Saleh Altam. The current study is to examine the effectiveness on social media use on EFL Yemeni learners in Indian college during the COVID-19 epidemic. The study looks at four social media platforms. First is Facebook, the second is Twitter, the third is YouTube, and the fourth is WhatsApp. The author aims to get the results, which social media is most often used by students in learning English among the four social media. It also aims to see if social media can improve students' English language skills during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, according to the study of the effect of social media on EFL learners at Indian colleges during COVID-19, thus learners spend more time on social media than previously. Social media has become an important part of their daily lives and it has also become a daily habit for many, particularly during the pandemic. Respondents indicate that they commonly use social media for English learning and that they believe the utilizing social media improves their listening abilities more than other skills such as reading, writing, and speaking. Social media, in particular, may be utilized to help students improve their public speaking skills. Alright, alright, so it turns out that the results of these 10 articles show that social media have a good influence, a good impact on developing English language skills to the student, such as in speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Therefore, teachers and students began to use social media for learning English in their daily. Alright, so yeah, that's all for my presentation about 10 articles that I have read. I hope you guys understand my presentation very well. Thank you very much for your attention, for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you guys.